Welcome to race 2 from Hampton Downs in New Zealand, where we have just come off the 6 different race winner in 10 races. Not to mention the youngest ever driver to win a V8 SuperTourers race. That man is Scott McLaughlin, the 18-year-old Queensland-based Kiwi. And there is the man right there in the 93 super cheap auto racing Holden Commodore. Alongside him, Andy Booth in the Woodstock car. Great drive from the birthday boy as they all get set to commence their warm-up lap here at Hampton Downs, a 2.7 kilometre track, 11 metres in elevation changes throughout this fantastic lap. Mark Pedersen, this guy Scott McLaughlin, this 93 car, he is unbeatable at the moment, you'd have to think.
Got a bit of pace on, but that Woodstock car of Andy Booth, he's certainly got the measure to counter-measure anything Scott does. But interesting, after race 1, I went and spoke to Scott and said, mate, work me through turn 1. And in his own admission, he said he went barreling in there and at 50 kilometres an hour faster than he needed to be. He got to the apex and realised that it was a bit too quick, and of course we saw it unfold. So we're going to see, we won't see a repeat of that, we're going to see some good racing. Right,
let's have a look and see how they line up, and it's Scott McLaughlin off the pole. Alongside him, Andy Booth in the Woodstock Commodore. Row 2, it's Johnny Reid and Greg Murphy.
Yeah, then filtering back after row 2, we've got Johnny McIntyre. They've made some wholesale changes for race 2. Kane Scott is just going to keep nurturing that car along. Paul Manuel, Andre Heimgartner, they made a bit of an error, technical error in race 1. They won't make sure that happens again. All forward row here, Stephen Richards, a bit of work to do. Eddie Bow and Jeff Emery, of course, Jeff was caught up in that mayhem in the first lap with Craig Baird and Richard Moore. The debutants this weekend both sharing the row here, one in a Holden, one in a Ford. Of course, Daniel Gaunt got caught up in that accident. Matt Pedersen had a gearbox failure in race 1, so they've got all the work to do that far back. And Craig Baird, after that disastrous start, they've done a lot of work. The team didn't get much sleep last night, so looking for a big day.
This is the first ever onboards this weekend. Andy Booth. Andy, can you hear us?
Oh, g'day, Barney. Fancy hearing from you, mate.
Yeah, mate, this is a first for V8 SuperTourers. We're glad to have you on board. How's the track feeling at the moment?
Yeah, pretty good. It's cleaned up a lot from race 1. Sun's come out, so it's looking good. I'm just worried about the swarm of bees around my head.
Well, the day is good. The sun is now out. I mean, have we got more temperature than race 1?
Well, that was later in the day. I think we probably haven't got quite as much track temp. So I'm sure the guys have made a few adjustments to the car for that, but not a lot, because the Woodstock car was very, very quick and consistent in race 1. Just got to try and stay with McLaughlin this time.
Both of you have just had a test in the last couple of weeks. This has really gone well for you.
Yeah, it has. We showed at Manfield that we'd really suffered from a lack of testing, and when we got some different conditions to the first 2 rounds, we just didn't know how to react to change the car.
Okay, so we've got to go. Good luck for the race. Our next on board is Ant Pedersen, the young gun who had bad luck yesterday. And he did a gearbox and it absolutely destroyed himself. The young fella very unhappy, but watch out for him. This is Stephen Richards, the 556 CRC Falcon. Stephen come back after an error in qualifying, and that car is actually going quite well. And this is his teammate, Johnny McIntyre, made wholesale changes overnight. And just watch out for 47, because he made a boomer start from late on the grid yesterday. Mark?
Yeah, they did, and here we go on board with Greg Murphy. Look how aggressive he's trying to be with that steering wheel, generating a bit of heat here, as we know that's what's going to make these cars, because they've got to get around turn 1, 2 and 3 competitively, these guys, because you know, a couple of degrees cooler on the tyre temperature makes all the difference in the world, especially at the start.
Right, Greg Murphy, obviously, he actually had a good race 1, and quite happy with what they've done overnight as well. As we look further back down the grid, and Pedersen there, that's Johnny Reid. Now, I reckon he's the man to watch, Mark, because he is the man collecting all the points at the moment. This man on the screen here, 47 Falcon of Johnny McIntyre, he's lost a lot of points from race 1.
There's 102 points separate the 2 Johnnies, and of course Johnny Reid being in front, but Johnny Reid's presence of mind, I have to say, after race 1, he got caught in all that mayhem with Scott McLaughlin going in there. He didn't make any bold moves, did he? He didn't try to re-establish himself too early. He just waited for a couple of cars to pass him, waited for his line in the traffic to emerge, and then he slowly picked them all off, yeah, and he finished the race up there yesterday in 3rd place, and that's what makes champions.
Do you think that with Johnny McIntyre being the team owner, running the 47 car and the 556 car, that he's actually, you know, gone a bit over his head?
Oh, and look, it definitely takes a lot when you've got to be the team owner, the team manager, partly engineer and the driver as well. It takes a lot out of him, and I would love to see what would happen if Johnny could remove himself from everything else and just be the steerer, because there's no doubt he's got the speed, but there's also a lot of other responsibilities that go with it.
Well, the pace car leads them out of turn 5. This is their final formation before they will head around turn 6 and head towards the green light. Is Scott McLaughlin on your left, Andy Booth on the right, Johnny Reid just in the background there in the blue-black Falcon. And Greg Murphy, our round 1 winner in the Mike Pero Real Estate 51 Commodore. He started to look racy in race 1, made an error in the last couple of laps and regretted it. As they all form up nicely. Mark, what sort of speed we're doing here? 75-ish?
Yeah, 75 up to 90. But Scott McLaughlin, of course, but we're just going to see these guys fan out. Greg Murphy, he's already looking racy, but this man, right at the screen here, Scott McLaughlin, pole man.
And the green light, we're away, McLaughlin. Can't see what's going to happen. Here's Johnny Reid. McLaughlin covers going to turn 1. Here comes Booth. Round the outside, it's a good move. It's a good move. Can he make it stick? There's Vito on the inside. McLaughlin's got the inside going into turn 2. Oh, but it's Booth. What a move. What a move by the birthday man.
Greg Murphy's going to try and slot himself right in here as well. It's Johnny Reid right on the outside. A couple of the boys, Andy Knight, looking for a bit of racing room.
Well, this is a little bit more civilised than race 1. McIntyre's lost some space, and here under attack from Kane Scott in the Peak Oils Team 4K. McLaughlin's lost another spot. Johnny Reid, the man on the move. We said he's the man with all the points. You'd think he'd start taking this race a little more seriously, but he's away. He wants to go with Andy Booth.
Well, he knows he's got to get clear air in front of him as quick as he can, and the best way to do that is obviously pass everybody. There's only one guy in front of them now, of course, that's Andy Booth, but look, we're only lap 1 of 25, so there's a lot of racing to be done, but keep in mind, it's going to take 4 or 5 laps for these guys to get the tyre temperature, the optimum temperature they need to go racing. So at the moment, they're almost in survival mode. That's why we're going to use so much aggression, so much passing.
Yeah, but you say that, Mark. Booth has got a 1.4 second lead. Here comes McLaughlin up the inside. He pulls out. Thinks better of it.
Yeah, that's that different interpretation that we touched base on after race 1, Shane. One guy will go wide, one guy will go tight. At the end of the day, there's only one apex in this corner.
Look at this Heimgartner. He's made a lot of positions. He is looking very, very racy. Now, this man, Heimgartner, here's the teammate to the man in front. Here's a replay. Stephen Richards smoked left rear.
Yeah,
left rear, flat tyre. So he's made some... Oh, he's going to go around.
It's one of those things, unfortunately, it's very hard to drive on a flat tyre. Now he's actually got himself stuck. Interesting, safety car is out. Yellow flag has been displayed here, so...
Well, that's...
wow.
Unless we haven't seen something out, that's a bit premature, really. He is out. And I'm not sure where that spin took, where it sort of happened. But Boothie's hard work, 1.4 seconds he pulled in 1 lap. So that AV8 motorsport car has got some speed, and so has his partner, Andre Heimgartner.
Yeah, spoke to Andre after race 1, and they basically made a little bit of an error of judgment after race 1. They reduced the tyre pressures. That's Stephen Richards to do a tyre change.
Now, if he's quick, he will not lose a lap, but these guys have actually already gone past the start-finish line. You're back with Gillette Motorsport, and we're under safety car conditions here in race 2 of the V8 Super Tourer Championship from Hampton Downs, as Stephen Richards in the 556 car spun off the circuit after a flat tyre. And we're just hearing that Ant Pedersen has also entered the pit lane after a flat spot. So a couple of key things that we didn't see. We saw the incident of Richard spinning and got stuck in the grass. Andy, it's Shane Drake here. Great start, mate. 1.4 seconds all gone to nothing.
Yeah, it's a shame. I was hoping there wasn't going to be a safety car, but it's always a danger. Look, we've got the safety car lights out, so we're about to go. I better get back onto it.
Thanks, Boothie. We'll come back to you soon.
Certainly was a nice aggressive start, wasn't it? And of course,
the safety car has its lights turned off and is going to disperse from the track. Here comes Andy Booth, Johnny Reid. And Johnny Reid, the last time a safety car came on this track, he absolutely made a hash of it. Slowing down in they're away. Boothie's got the jump again. A nice start. And look at Scott McLaughlin all over the back, and he's going to have a go. There is definitely going to have... No, he's pulled back in. This is Heimgartner around the outside. Johnny McIntyre and Murphy.
He just come from nowhere, did he? Got this young man, and Greg Murphy's he's going to jostle his position all the way down.
Yeah, I think he'll hang there.
Yeah, it's what happens to McIntyre, who's direct. No,
he's there.
He's going to stay there.
Well, and he gives Murphy a little bump on the way through. Says, mate, I'm a bit younger than you. This is my spot. It
was interesting speaking to the team before. They said, Andre, oh, here we go, another battle here. Andy Knight beside Kane Scott. Made this place.
Well, look at Boothie. He's actually pulled another good gap. He has got early car speed. And this is what we spoke about in race 1. These guys could be on a different strategy here on their tyres.
Yeah, also what's contributing to Andy pulling away so early, is Foggy in the background doing what he does, is that these are the guys that battling with each other, of course. So, you know, Andy has just got Kiro in front of him, hits all the apexes, accelerates when he needs to. These other guys are battling, so they're essentially taking time out of each other.
Murphy sliding that number 51 car out of turn 6 onto the main straight. He's going to go in close because he knows McIntyre's filling his mirrors. And as we know, we're coming into a corner that we're calling the black hole. There are so many lines into this corner, but really only one way out. However, we were just proved wrong with Andre Heimgartner in the previous lap as he gets into the back of Murphy. Murphy, a bit slow on his opening laps.
Just wait for those tyres to come up to temperature. Some other guys have engineered their cars a lot earlier than what the Greg Murphy 51 car has, but he just needs to be patient. He needs to be defensive as he can without losing too much track time, because if Johnny Mac makes a bit of a hole, rest assured the guys behind him will try to fill it as well.
How do you go about that, Mark? I mean, how do you be patient when you're trying to win a race?
Well, you just got to come in, you know, you just got to make sure that you get on the throttle as early as you can without getting too much wheel spin, and wait for those tyre temperatures to come up, because if you're too aggressive, you're starting to see it. The cars behind you will bank up. If you miss a bit of a braking marker, you know, and you go a little bit wide, then you don't lose one place, you lose 5 or 6 places. So you just got to hit the cues, make sure you do everything properly, wait for the car to come to you, and you start challenging.
We are on lap 5 of 25, and that's the 27 United Video. Falcon and Craig Beard sustained major damage in race 1 with Richard Moore. Broke the Watts linkage, and those guys had to straighten the diff out in that car as well. So he's just behind Eddie Bell. So Beard has made he's made 7 spots. That's an incredible start.
What about incredible starts? Here's Johnny McIntyre. We knew he was going to execute that move. Now, what's going to happen after this? Obviously, oh no, look at that. Greg just slotted straight in, put the pressure back on Johnny again. He thought might have taken advantage, but wasn't quite close enough.
Well, this is hotting up. I mean, Murph is struggling here. Here comes Knight. Knight's having a look up the inside. The man yesterday that really was the centre of attention. He was in everything. He was into the niggle. He was into the spins. And Greg Murphy will be looking in his mirrors and going, I don't really want that Golf Century car there, please.
It's amazing how your fortunes change from one round to another, because when we were here at the first round at Hampton Downs, that car was so dominant. It just proves the evolution of the teams, the drivers, everybody getting to know what it is. So there's no doubt they hit the marks first round at round 1. Straight a little bit with that whole team this weekend.
Murphy hits up the hill. Fantastic. Oh, we've got a stop car. Richard Moore in the skinny car. He is stopped, looks like just out of turn 3. He's off the side of the track, but I'm not sure whether that could bring out a safety car. And look at this, McLaughlin on the back of Booth. Where did he come from?
He's always been there. He's just been chipping away. Andy Booth at the moment, these guys are trading fastest laps. Safety car is out again, so the deployment's going to come out. So the safety car deployment. So all that hard work that these 2 guys are doing, once again, all for nothing.
Look out the back of the Woodstock car, looking at Scott McLaughlin just wandering past the skinny car. I can remember that car stopping there at the first round, actually.
It was a different kind of angle, though, wasn't it, unfortunately?
It's facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
So here we go again. Safety car is deployed. We've just heard through race control that Ed Peterson has been awarded a drive-through penalty. Waiting for more information on that one. So whether or not Boothie's tyres just went away from him, and that, I mean, how many pounds difference, Mark, is going to make a difference from a guy to being quick to sort of falling back into the clutches of someone else?
We're only talking about 2 pounds per square inch, and in your road car, you would never notice that difference. But these cars are so finely tuned that I was speaking to some of the guys after race 1, and they were saying that when you're in the window of opportunity, which we talk about from an engineering point of view, 2 pounds of the tyre pressure, or 1 click on the shock, just transfers the whole car.
just joined us, we're under the second safety car period of race 2 here at Hampton Downs in New Zealand. And it's Andy Booth leading from the Queensland-based Kiwi. Now, I've got to point out here, Mark, that the difference in age between the guy in front and the guy in second is 20 years. That's quite incredible.
Yeah, it's just, well, Foggy wasn't leading this race because we'll be adding 30 years into that equation. But Scott McLaughlin, you can just see the confidence building in him and that team now, can't you, after race 1? We always knew he was capable of doing it, and he's always shown the car speed, especially in round 1. But for whatever reason, there was a little bit of disconnect round 2 and 3, but he's come back with a vengeance, and he's certainly shown everybody. Look, his car speed, he's around about 3 to 4 tenths of a second quicker than the man that's leading the race at the moment, Andy Booth, the Woodstock car. So these guys continue. I believe they're going to pull away again from Johnny Reid and the cars behind. At some stage, they're going to take the battle to each other.
I was talking to Scott McLaughlin's team, and what's happened with the young fella is that when he won the latest supercar round for Fujitsu Development Series in Perth, they told him to get his bum going. Okay, get on with it. We want some action, and he took that as the time and chance to move on and make himself known, and he won the round. So this has given him a great boost leading into this round. He has been the fastest man all weekend by a country mile.
Yes, when you say the confidence, and even when he walks, you know, he's actually walking on the top of his toes before he's on the balls of his feet. He's got that spring about him that we see in an upcoming driver. And talking about another guy very quickly, Andre Heimgartner, the young guy's in 4th place. And the team said you've got to keep reminding yourself he is only 16 years of age. He's a very nice teenager. But at some stage, he's going to have to get a bit of mongrel to him. Now, I don't use that word lightly, but it's a word we use. He's got to get in there. He's got to ruffle a few feathers. He's got to take a few wing mirrors off the other guys. And I have to say, looking at race, you know, lap 1 or 2, he was in there with Greg Murphy, wasn't he? He was rubbing panels with him. He was rubbing panels with Johnny McIntyre. These guys are established superstars in their own right. So the young guy now, maybe he's getting that little bit of mongrel that we've been looking for.
Well, he's only a couple of years older than Scott McLaughlin, and there's the 247 car of Angus Fogg just going through this shot. But, I mean, it seems to be the young fellas that make these bold moves, that go around the outside where no other man can go. What's that about?
Well, I've got a theory for that. They don't know any different. They don't know what's right or wrong. They're just driving on ability and car control. So that's why they can go around and pull the moves off.
The safety car lights have gone out, and we will resume race 2 here at Hampton Downs of the V8 SuperTourers as Andy Booth and the Woodstock Commodore will take them around turn 6 up the hill at a consistent pace. There's looking at Booth, his eyes, his ears. His team will be on the radio telling him what the situation is. He will see the lights, and that's what he's going to see out the other side of that helmet. Scott McLaughlin is going to try and pull a move on this man. He has to. As they take the green light, Johnny Reid out wide, filtered into turn 1. Nice single file. Heimgartner, Johnny Mack, Greg Murphy, Andy Knight, Kane Scott, Eddie Bell, Craig Beard, as they lead down very civilised turn 2.
I can't emphasise how hard it is for these guys in these cars. They've done all the hard work for 2 or 3 laps. You've got a calculation on how much grip they've got because the tyres get to the optimum temperature. Then the safety car comes out. All that hard work's done. So, look, the man on screen, Andy Booth, he's actually the pioneer of that stage of the race.
We've got action in the background. That's Eddie Bell. And the independent fishery's gone very, very wide. He's in the sand. But this beat, no, he's out. And Beard up the inside of Manuel. Rub wheels. This is where his accident happened in race 1. And here's Andy Knight up the inside of the 51 of Greg Murphy. He looks like he'll take that spot. Nice move, Andy Knight. Century Golf Falcon slips past Murphy's Commodore. Not sure what's going on inside this cabin, but radio chat would be very hot at the moment. They lead up over the hill here at Hampton Downs. Andy Knight, the man in charge now. This is what happened at the previous round, Mark. Race 2, Andy Knight come from a long way back and passed every man inside apart from the race winner.
Yeah, of course, he's had race 1, luxury of race 1 to learn what the car does, what's going to happen with the track and everything. We know this young fella is capable of winning races. He's capable of winning championships, and he's finding his feet in this class now.
Whoa, Knight gets sideways. Murphy just taking a little bit of evasive action, and he's got Kane Scott in the Peak Oils car right in the back of him, so he's going to have to watch himself. That Team 4 car got some speed. And speaking of speed, here's Andy Booth again, pulling that little gap that we got used to in the first couple of laps.
Yeah, he's just responding to the cold tyre challenge, and he's probably doing it braver than everybody else. There's no doubt McLaughlin's got the car speed to burn. We saw that after race 1. so he'll forge ahead. But Johnny Reid, you have to say, he's actually managing to maintain the gap now to McLaughlin and Booth, as we saw him drop off in the early part of the race.
These cars, they are moving around. It's a beautiful day here in Hampton Downs, but it's just a little bit chilly being the first weekend of winter, and the temperature needed to get these hand-cooled tyres to work just takes a few more laps than normal. Murphy heads up past the apartments on the left, start-finish line, into turn one, an amazing corner, keeps it in tight, and now he's got Kane Scott all over the back of him. And here we go, Scott, he's having a nose, he just gives him a look.
I think it was more of a dummy, actually, than anything else, trying to upset the flow of Greg, but, you know, that's pretty hard to do at best of times.
Well, Kane Scott, he was the fastest man here at round one, and here he goes, he's having another look. Got his nose just in there, Murphy's going to have to watch himself, but he's smart enough to leave a hole if he's close enough. Well, this is heat up lap 12 now of 25, so we're at the halfway point. And Boothie just got himself half a second. 1.2 further back to Johnny Reid, Andy Knight, Murphy, Kane Scott, Craig Beard. He is the mover of this pack. Cresting the hill now. Andy Booth, birthday boy. And he, look, what's happened with Boothie? He had an awful round 3 in the championship, and all of a sudden he's on the pace.
And that's just the strength and character of Andy Booth and, of course, Aviate Motorsport. And that's a sign of a professional driver. When you're down in the dumps, and you and I have been there before, I'm sure of it, you just get to the team, everybody rallies around, and you bounce back, and there's no better way to bounce back than win races. The man on the screen at the moment, this is Andy Booth, of course, in the Woodstock car, but just behind him, Scott McLaughlin, the man on screen right now. He was 3/10 of a second quick. Here we go.
This is Gordon and Emery, Dave Irwin, Daniel Gaunt, and he loves racing, I can assure you. Here's Stephen Richards in the background. Daniel Gaunt up the inside, the Australian Jeff Emery. He's going to have a long way to go around here. Watch the Stephen Richards, he might fill the gap here and say thank you very much, Daniel. No, but he pulls it back in low. Gaunt, who was the recipient of the only drive-through in race 1 after contact with Angus Fogg. Boy, he's all over the back of Emery. This is a move.
It's good mileage for them as well, of course, because that's a brand new car that Tasman Racing. First time it turned a wheel was this weekend, and the other man that turned a wheel the first time this weekend, Angus Fogg, currently in 11th place.
Well, let's just remind our viewers that this burst.
Look at that, on the windscreen.
This car,
windscreen wiper.
This car, oh, someone off on the right. Car smoking by the look of it. This car here is a lap down. Stephen Richards, he took over a lap to replace that wheel.
Actually, Johnny Reid, he was the car going slow. He's filtered back through. He's down to 14th place. So whatever happened there, the car we just glimpsed off, Johnny Reid, the championship leader.
Well, that is big news for Johnny Mack. Oh, he stopped on the track. He hasn't even made it in.
No, it's a bit of smoke coming out of the front part of the car, engine, gearbox, whatever it happens to be.
Well, this team in race 1 with Ant Peterson absolutely destroyed a gearbox. So whether or not this is the same problem, I don't know. But obviously trying to get up that hill, that is more like engine, isn't it?
Yeah, either way, it's quite terminal because it couldn't even coast back into the pits. What's going to aid that as well as being uphill? So, well, you just don't have that luxury, unfortunately.
No, this has got to be very dangerous heading into this part of the race where that car is actually. Here we go. Safety car has been put out.
Yeah, look, I agree with that call 100%. It's very fast part of the track, and that car's actually unsighted for anybody else coming into the pit lane. So very smart thinking there.
Well, 14 laps gone, and we've had 3 safety cars, and it rushes to get out. Boothie's going to have to pull back here to allow this guy to get the safety car in front of them. Well, third safety car makes its way onto the track because of Johnny Reid, the championship leader, who's now just throwing away everything that he's earned so far for the man sitting in 4th position, Johnny McIntyre.
Now, even if we concluded the race right now, Johnny McIntyre finishing in 4th, he'll actually be leading the championship after race 2 on like 44 points. Just proves how much fortunes can change.
Yeah, but I hate looking ahead here, Mark, but at the end of the day, the points for race 3 determine the grid, so Johnny's going to be a long way back.
Yeah, you've got all the hard work to do, and of course this Johnny in the picture just there, Johnny McIntyre now. And you have to say, when we were here at round 1, the team's own admission, they had a disastrous round 1. Nothing worked for them. They'd done everything they could, never worked in their favour. Now he's leading it.
There's the International Motorsport team run down the pit lane, and it's a little bit of an uphill ride here, so those boys will be looking for a nice drink when they get back to the pits.
Interesting, but, when they were pushing it, there wasn't a great deal of oil coming out, which is a telltale sign of a major mechanical failure. So maybe something's gone wrong and he's caught in time, but a bit different from Ant Peterson. That car was trailing oil everywhere, so hopefully they can get that thing turned around.
Well, there was smoke coming out of it. Whether or not that was coming out of the engine bay area or whether it was from the brakes, because when these cars do stop and just sit around and maybe with their foot on the brake, a lot of smoke comes out as those pads and discs meet. There's the International Motorsport number 2 being pushed in the garage. Not a very good weekend at all for this International Motorsport team. A DNF for each driver. And as we've already mentioned, this is instrumental to this Sprint Series Championship.
Yeah, looking around the very back of the car towards a differential, or the main drivetrain component there, so either way they'll get the car up and have a quick look around, but there was certainly no urgency whatsoever with that team, so the door's open.
Mark Johnson there, the team engineer.
Saying that Johnny's actually not getting out of the car yet, so...
Yeah, no, that's a good point. He may be trying to find some points, but this is not like race 1 where there was 3 did not finishes. Andy Booth is the man of the moment here right now as he leads race 2 of the V8 SuperTourers at Hampton Downs for the 3rd time. I don't know whether you can have that many safety cars in a race, but as they say, safety cars breed safety cars.
Yeah, you're right there. We've seen that time and time again, haven't we? But this man, he's responded to every challenge. Every time that safety car's come out, he's got a lead, comes back out again, and he gives that lead again.
Well, here he leads him up the hill for the 3rd time. The safety car is pulled into the pit lane. Here we go again. Keeps it nice and tight. He's going to try and land a surprise on McLaughlin to get any advantage he can, and they're away. And Heimgartner now up to 3rd, so AV8 Motorsport 1 and 3. Here's McLaughlin having a bit of a nose. He's too far back, and Heimgartner really missed the boat there. Let McLaughlin get away. He needs to come up to the back of this car and give his mate a hand.
He's also really defensive as well from Johnny McIntyre. But here we go. McLaughlin look down the inside. And he can stay there. He's going to get it through turn 3. Watch for the crossover. Nothing come of it.
Well, McLaughlin's looking racy. Look, here he goes. He's having a nose. Booth's got to be careful. He doesn't get one on the door, and he concedes. Wow. Boothie. Oh, it's Kane Scott around the background. He's been collected, looked like by Angus Fogg.
There, Stephen Richards is in there, and that's the part. Oh, it's quite a big hit as well.
There's major damage on the back of the Team 4 Commodore as McLaughlin, well, Boothie will be livid with himself. He just got caught napping. He got the signal at turn 2 and he allowed it to happen at turn 4. Now he's got Heimgartner to deal with. Got to ask, team orders with Heimgartner and Booth. Would they just allow themselves just to race for a while to try and get this young man up front?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. They'll be lying astern for a while, but if Andre Heimgartner goes, look, but here's a replay of the accident of Kane Scott.
Whoa, and Craig Beard disappeared on the left-hand side of the shot.
Yeah, and then Angus Fogg, of course, tagged the back of it. He's just an innocent victim there.
Well, that'll save Kane going for a drive-through like he did in round 1. McLaughlin real sideways over the top of turn 2. Here comes Boothie again. He's going to get a sniff of this and go, right, I can hang with this guy because he's looking wild.
McLaughlin's responding to the challenge of the cold tyres. Probably just a little bit better than Andy Booth. Right, Boothie got caught back in there.
He's got to look here. He's right up the backside of the 93 Super Cheap car.
Safety car has been deployed again.
Wow, that's probably the reason why. Wow.
Oh, sorry, Drake. There's one man in the back of the picture there, Craig Beard. He started from the very back. He's up to 7th. Every time a safety car comes out, he picks up 2 or 3 spots. Yeah. So if they continue, he might actually be a factor in this.
Hold your train of thought, Mark, because I'm wondering whether or not he was the man responsible for Kane Scott being turned around.
You know, it's happened before.
Well, it certainly won't be the last. Wow, here we go. Boothie, Shane Drake here. My goodness, what is going on out there?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I thought I had it all under control, but these blooming safety cars keep getting in the way, and I think I let the tyres cool down too much on that last safety car stop and didn't have the grip at turn 2, and Scotty got me.
Yeah, I must say, he took a really good swipe at you at turn 2, but it looks like in the second lap after that safety car that your car started coming good again.
Yeah, like I said, Barney, I just let the tyres cool down too much behind the safety car, and as soon as the grip came back in, I had the pace, so hopefully I can do something about the little mite this time.
Hey, come on, mate. He's 20 years your junior. Be nice.
Yeah, I think he might almost be more than that.
Righto, mate. Thanks, and good luck for the rest of the race.
Cheers, guys.
Great on-board commentary and pictures there with Andy Booth. A first for V8 SuperTourers, and here's the replay. Let's see if we can get a shot in the lower screen. As there's now, I've got to say, we didn't see the whole thing, but Craig B was definitely involved in that picture.
Well, yeah, look, I don't actually know. I'd like to, see a little bit again, but either way, a couple of cars that didn't make it through the corner.
Safety cars lights out again, and this time it's going to be the Gold Coast-based Kiwi, McLaughlin, who's going to lead them. Now, let's see, with the Booth, he can play him at his own game. And don't forget the man in third, Heimgartner, and the wise man in fourth, Johnny McIntyre. This is starting to heat up.
Yeah, look, Johnny McIntyre, he knows the championship's his now.
Doctor's got to be careful here. He's got to hold a steady pace. No brake testing. He's gone. A good little start. He's away. Who's been left out this time? Booth, he's got a nice... No, he's just get himself a bit of fresh air.
Yeah, you're right. More fresh air from Andre Heimgartner, so he can have a good lunge at turn 1 and 2. McIntyre's having a lunge down the inside of Heimgartner.
Boothie looks good. Boothie looks good.
Man, they carry some speed through 1, don't they?
Head down to turn 2. Heimgartner going defensive from McIntyre. Andy Knight in behind him. Young man from Christchurch who was involved in absolutely everything in race 1. Starting to get close to the back of the 47 Blackwoods Pikers car of Johnny McIntyre. This is on board McIntyre. He won't like this young man in front of him. McIntyre's been around for a long time. I reckon you see this front of that green and white Falcon start waving itself as Andy Knight gets very, very close.
He's got a run on him here. He's just looking for the big lunge going into 6.
More to the point, here's McIntyre. Look at this, but let's be careful here because Andy Knight will fill that gap.
Okay, look how aggressive Johnny was. He knew when he couldn't make the pass, he just immediately pulled back in to stop Andy Knight getting an advantage.
Heimgartner, nice big power slide out of turn 6 up the hill. He's going to have to hold this very, very close into the wall, Mark.
You're right. He's going to have to go.
And here's Booth having a look. Whoa, action heating up here. This is lap 20 of 25, and we haven't slowed down. This is a great move by McIntyre. And Heimgartner is going to struggle. He might hang there like he did earlier on the race. He knows he's got the car to do it. But no, McIntyre gives him the wing mirror and says, get out of my way. I'm through. And here's Andy Knight now having a look at McIntyre. You become a little bit more vulnerable once someone gets through.
Right, that's that freight train effect we're talking about is here. There's Andy Knight, Greg Murphy, Craig Beard, even Daniel Gaunt, the depth top this weekend. So just have to say, oh, here we go. Murphy down the inside of Knight now. Knight can stay there, live there on the outside.
Yeah, watch the man behind him as well. He has moved up 10 positions. Craig Beard in the United video car looking very, very racy indeed. And here is Andy Booth.
And the safety car is out again.
Oh, how many times do we need this?
Another deployment. So these guys coming over here and get that notification at some stage.
Well, we haven't seen the note is up, but we'll keep around the corner here and see whether this car is actually, yes, it has.
It has been deployed, so there you go. Guys on the radio talking back, but for whatever reason, it has come back out, so the field gets compressed yet again. So, although be it this race being 25 laps in duration, I think it's only going to be a 2-lap sprint race.
Johnny Reid still in the pits. Stephen Richards a lap down. So is Ant Peterson. Angus Fogg a lap down as well. So he probably had to pit with damage, making contact with Kane Scott. Some of these guys having a disaster, but the smart guys are keeping it together. Johnny McIntyre, who's now sitting in 3rd position. You've got to say, he is looking racy. He's a smart man. He knows it.
Oh, it's Angus Fogg's the reason for the safety car.
That's why he's lost a lap.
Parked up there, just can't get the thing refired again. Oh, he's got it going. See the flames coming out.
The car cranking sideways.
Oh, it's a big hit too.
Oh, he's taken...
that might have been early actually with the Kane Scott incident. So, either way, poor old Angus.
Well, let's be ready for, as soon as Angus is out of the wall, whether they're going to go again. Yes, the safety car lights are out for the 4th time, 5th time. I've lost count.
I've just run out of fingers, so I'm a bit lost as well, to be honest with you. But either way, the safety car is going to go. And right. Scott McLaughlin and Andy Booth are going to take the battle to each other.
These guys need to be very wary of McLaughlin. He got a good little run last time, but Booth is right with them. Heimgartner and McIntyre caught napping just a little bit. And there's Craig Beard. Here's Boothie having a run down the inside, but
safety cars about let those tyre temperatures drop off too much, but if Scott can live there for another 2-3 corners, he's going to get a bit more temperature, a bit more confidence, knows exactly how much grip he's got.
Action in the background, Andy Knight going very wide, coming under pressure from Craig Beard as McLaughlin heads it into turn 3, up the hill. As they come into braking, little opportunities sneak in here, different lines being used as well. McLaughlin now got that 93. Let's try and just knuckle a lap down. He'll have his engineer, Ruben Lawrenson, on the cans going, just take it easy, mate. We've got this in the bag.
I don't think he's got in the bag just quite yet. I don't think he's got in the bag until he gets past the start-finish line on lap 25, because he just got a falter for only just 0.1 of a second. But he's not quite close enough in the draft on this predictor part of the track. He won't be able to slot it down the inside of turn 1. He's too far back. Paul Manuel having a bit of a spin there.
Replay will show here. Oh, whoops. He looks like he might have been collected by Jeff Emery. Emery certainly around the shot, not unless he locked it up. McLaughlin is the fastest man on the track, but not by much as Boothie starts pestering the young fella again.
Yeah, the young fella, he's very quick through turn 6 and 1. That's where his strengths are. Boothie, you know, turn 2, 3 and 4 is where Woodstock car is very strong. Those two guys have pulled a bit of a gap now. Johnny McIntyre, of course, has been a bit defensive there, Andre Heimgartner. So these two guys have got enough of a gap on Johnny McIntyre where they don't have to be defensive against him.
Heimgartner, Vance Commodore, runs in the same team as the man in second place, Andy Booth. McLaughlin's just a little bit of fresh air now. He's got 0.4 of a second up on Boothie. You're right, these cars are showing different turns of speed at different parts of the circuit.
It's just the engineering that the guys put into the cars. But more importantly, the man in front, he is strong on turn 6 and into turn 1. That's where it all counts.
And McLaughlin is certainly turning the heat up. He's now putting it out to 0.7 of a second. Murphy on his own. Andy Knight still under pressure from Craig Beard. What has the 23 Woodstock car got for Scott McLaughlin? He's not putting a foot wrong now that he's in front. So, I mean, do these guys engineer these cars, you know, how they go faster in certain parts? Is that because they feel stronger in those parts, or is it where that there's passing opportunities?
Well, there's a bit of both, because it's such a technical track here that turn 6 and 1 are very high speed corners. 2, 3, 4 and 5 is a bit to go into now a very low speed. So you have to make a bit of a compromise where you want to make the car be good.
Well, there's a graphic example. Boothie close right up into turn 5. McLaughlin staying very wide to bring that car down. A high entry and a low exit, giving maximum speed down the straight. As these cars sweep around the various Boothie, a nice little slide here. His tyres maybe coming to losing their edge as we head into the last lap here in race 2, and it looks like it's the Kiwi Scott McLaughlin. Wow, this is actually the checkered flag. McLaughlin takes race 2 win. Boothie second, John McIntyre third. Wow, what a race. There's Di McLaughlin, Scotty's mum, very happy. She congratulates Wayne, Scotty's dad, but the young Queensland-based Kiwi does it again. 2 out of 2 here at Hampton Downs. And results, McLaughlin, Booth, McIntyre, great points for Johnny McIntyre. This is instrumental. Greg Murphy back there 5th. Andy Knight held on to that position from Craig Beard, and Daniel Corn. What a drive for the debutant in 8th place. Jeff Emery, the Australian, 11th, a good result for him. He is so much faster than round 1. Angus Fogg, after being in the wall, he takes out 13th place.